The following podcast contains some strong language and some very average opinions. It's probably best if you don't listen at all.
The Roaring Peacock Podcast.
Welcome back to the Roaring Peacock Podcast. And this one is the match review of Sheffield United 0, Leeds United, champions of the world 1. My name is Adonis, and you know me from the Adelites. Alongside me is Alex, also known as Riot Badger.
Okay, hi.
And making his Roaring Peacock debut, Ed McIntyre from All Things Leeds.
Hello, how are we all?
Not too bad, thank you. Better after today.
I'm fucking pumped.
Yeah, you sound it. I'm fucking pumped. No, it's good that. I think I had my retro vibes properly tickled, which is an awful image, just by seeing us playing that kit. I think just watching us playing that kit was just so good. It was like going back to the 90s. And it just felt like a championship game to me. It felt like we'd been transplanted back into the championship. It was the same sort of football, same scrappy tackles, losing balls, second balls were missed and stuff like that. But it's interspersed with some really good play. So enjoyed it.
Ed, what did you think?
Yeah, I thought it was a really good game. I mean, obviously the goal came late on, and if the game had finished 0-0, it wouldn't have been a bad game, to watch. It wouldn't have been a boring 0-0. It was a very entertaining game. I do feel what Alex says, with, championship vibes, around the game. Two teams that have been away from the Premier League for so long, and yeah, it wasn't fantastic football on display. I think you've got to give credit to Sheffield United. They defended resolutely, made themselves hard to beat. But ultimately we were the better side, I would say, and yeah, we got the goal and got all 3 points, which can't really complain too much about.
So anyone, yeah, 6 from 9, the sexiest numbers. So anyone who watched or listened, should I say, to the match preview would know that for my sins, I rewatched the Leeds 0 Sheffield United 1 game that kind of killed our season 3 seasons ago now. And one of the things that I picked up on from rewatching that was the amount of fouls that Sheffield United committed, especially to stop transitions. And they tried that again, so exactly the same tactics. But this time, we had a kind of semi-decent referee. I don't agree with the handball laws and whatever that's going on now, and all that. And sometimes VAR is a bit fucking shit. But you have to say, on the whole, Premier League referees are much better than the ones in the Championship.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? Yeah, he tried to get conned a couple of times. The one thing that stuck out for me is Osborne for them. He was going down and screaming like a banshee, and he was like the Premiership version of Neil Kilkenny, just moaning about everything. And I'm glad to see him dejected at the end of the final whistle.
Yeah, little man, big voice. That was the smallest dog sparked the loudest.
Did you get that in a fortune cookie?
Yeah, the waitress was sifting through them before I got mine. No, but I mean, yeah. So Sheffield United 18 fouls, Leeds 4, and I think that sums up our two approaches. So Chris Wilder's approach and Bielsa's approach to football, really.
Yeah.
Does anyone understand Chris Wilder's comment after the game where he said that he was going to slide tackle Bielsa? He might slide tackle Bielsa. Did anyone else hear that in his post-match interview?
I think he's been on the Peroni early.
Yeah, I didn't really understand that comment, and now that you've just read that 18 fouls compared to our 4, yeah, I don't understand it.
I mean, the technical term is, he's had a hard-fought match and he's an absolute dickhead. I think that's the best thing. Nah, that's unfair. I think he's a massive fan of the club that he manages, and I think he's got a lot more dog in the fight than a lot of managers would. And I think he takes it on a personal level like a fan would. And I think that's it. I think it's a misplaced comment. I think it might have just been his attempt at a joke, but he's from South Yorkshire, so it don't come across.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's very funny what he said. I mean, if you think about like Vinnie Jones, Vinnie Jones absolutely wipes out this little kid, and it's still like one of the most iconic photos of Vinnie that I can remember. That one and him grabbing Gazza's balls. So on the one side, we can celebrate that when it's us, but yeah. I don't think we can criticize Wilder for saying that. Like, I think it's funny. I think it's so funny that we've rattled him. We've rattled him that much that he's talking about slide tackling Bielsa.
Putting a slide tackling on a 65-year-old man.
Yeah.
That's the long and short of it.
I'd be pretty careful about doing that as well.
Yeah.
Like Bielsa has a reputation of pulling out
chucking
a
grenades.
hand grenade. Yeah.
That's it. Yeah. There's so much respect between the two as well. I think it must be a misplaced joke. That's all I can think.
Yeah, which is weird because he called us Muppets from Leeds at one point, didn't he? Chris Wilder?
we talked about it last night. He was just absolutely pissed up, basically.
Yeah. The Muppets came out on top today. How sweet is it to get a late winner as well? 88th minute winner. How sweet is that?
Yeah, it was getting to the point where I was like, we'll never score in a month. 1-0. It didn't look like we were scoring at all. But yeah, it is satisfying that, especially when it comes off his nose. Bamford, the salmon at the back post.
Hey,
3 goals in 3 games and an assist. He's on fire, isn't he, Bamford?
He's on fire, mate.
That was the Sheffield statue of the salmon.
Yes,
foretelling. They drove past it on the coach, and Bamford got inspired.
I might have to Photoshop that, to be honest. Just get that and find what the salmon statue looks like and Photoshop it in.
Perfect. Photoshop Bamford's head on the top salmon's head.
Yeah. So good ball as well from Jack Harrison. With that assist. And what I loved as well, if you watch the goal back, Jack Harrison celebrates before the ball's even gone in. And there's photos that Leeds United posted on Twitter, and you can see Ayling in the background. As soon as Bamford's head there, Ayling is smiling. The ball's not even hit the back of the net. They all knew as soon as it hit Bamford's head, it was going to go in. Whereas I think a lot of fans probably questioned it, but they were confident in him.
No, it's some good photos that.
That last match, just going back to that, Leeds 0, Sheffield 1, where Basham broke our hearts.
Do we have to?
So it's just one more point. So I pointed out what was the same, which is Sheffield United's shitty football tactics of fouling during transitions and time wasting, sitting back and all that. But the big difference between that game and this one was that game had 1 shot on target.
Yeah.
Between both teams, and today we had 9 shots on target, and they had 4, and I think that was the big difference, and especially those 4 that they had, because Meslier for me was absolutely outstanding. I don't remember a goalkeeper performance as good as that for a long, long time.
No.
Yeah, maybe going back to Rob Green.
But not just the shot stopping side. He made more successful passes than the whole of any individual Sheffield United player.
Yeah.
So even from an offensive point.
Yeah, it's absolutely mental. I mean, Sheffield United should have scored, really. I was surprised that it was still 0-0 at half-time. Lundstrom and Baldock with them 2 really, really good chances for them. But, Meslier proved today that he's a great, shot stopper, really. He was fantastic. And, Meslier, for 20-year-old goalkeeper, first clean sheet in the Premier League after 3 Premier League games. It's unreal. His distribution's excellent. His shot stopping's excellent. I'd say maybe he could improve on his positioning at set pieces, but apart from that, Meslier is incredible. And I said it a while ago that I think.
Sorry, Ed. I can't get over you calling him. What are you calling him, Meslier?
Meslier. What's wrong with that?
It's Meslier.
Whatever you want. There's an X in there. I'm going to use it.
Sorry, Ed.
But no,
Oh,
I mean,
God.
I said it a while ago. Meslier will be
Hey.
one of the best goalkeepers
Hey.
in the world, in my opinion. He'll be France #1 in a few years, 100%, because he's so good now, and he's only 20 years old. It will be world class in a few years. I've got no doubt about that. And it's amazing how many Premier League teams start a goalkeeper that they've paid only £5 million for.
No, absolute bargain. Absolute
Exactly.
bargain.
You look at Kepa being dropped by Chelsea for Willy Caballero yesterday. Kepa, most expensive goalkeeper in the world. Meslier is better than him, 100%.
Strong words, but yeah, you're right.
I think
Man of the match
Leeds United were almost half the price of Kepa.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Meslier was man of the match today, 100%.
Yeah, of course. That first save was, yeah. I mean, Rob Green had some good performances, but I mean, they weren't in the Premier League, and yeah, I just think that first save was just unbelievable. I mean, I don't want to get ahead of myself or put pressure on Meslier or whatever, but when I first started going, there was John Lukic, but then Nigel Martin came along, and honestly, like that was a Nigel Martin save. That one, it was just, I don't remember celebrating a save in such a long time like I did that one.
Yeah, both them chances, I assumed they were scoring. I didn't think
Yeah.
there was any way that he's going to get, especially the second one. How we got to that, I've got no idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we play five-a-side, and the guy broke his hand trying to save a shot from one of our guys. That guy must have hands like his voice. It must be thick and rich, his fingers. I'm going off in the weeds again.
Five-a-side is a weird one, right? I play and I wear my gloves sometimes when I have to go in goal. So I just I don't go in goal that much because I like to score goals, because obviously I think very highly of myself. But yeah, I know people say to me, "Oh, why are you wearing gloves?" I'd only use gloves to 11-a-side. But the thing is, you only really need gloves when you're playing 5-a-side, because they're fucking 3 meters away from you and they're smashing it as hard as they can.
Yeah, and it's always straight at you as well, because there's nowhere else to be. Yeah. No, that shot had some power behind it, and the way he's tipped it over is just perfect. So.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that. But we haven't had a good goalkeeper since Rob Green. We're not blessed with good goalkeepers at Leeds United, are we? We well want two goods. You cash your mind back to Paul Verhoebke, Silvestri and Peacock Fowl and Peacock say. We've not been blessed with good goalkeepers.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what's really funny. I went to don't know if any of you guys went to the LUFC Trust last year did like a centenary thing in the Merriam Centre.
Yeah.
And they had former players like goalkeeper gloves up, and in one frame they had the Hubkers and Vivalds. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah. I think it's the guy that holds the collection. His collection, he's got a bit of sense of humour. I think what I liked about that collection as well is that Brolin's shirts are double XL. It's perfect.
Yeah. The case with those goalkeeper gloves, it must have been fucking made of diamond, wasn't it? What else can hold that? They certainly couldn't.
Yeah. That was a good exhibition. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah.
I was. I was super proud to have. I recreated the Burley Banksy's works of art around the city, and I was super proud to have that all done up for that exhibition. It was beautiful.
Oh, nice. Cool.
What are you guys' thoughts on Tyler Roberts today? He had a bit of a quiet game, didn't he?
It was really off the pace, wasn't he? It's like all the promise that we saw in him last season seems to have just drifted a bit. Maybe he looks like a player that we've just brought in and needs to catch up, but he's been with us for 2 seasons now. No, 4 seasons?
Yeah.
3 seasons? He was injured for the first one, wasn't he? But yeah, so that promise seems to have dropped off from like how he was against Hull last season.
He's not number 10, is he?
No.
Not number 10.
No, I think he wants to play up top.
When you play that role, you've got to have something like a bit silky, a bit spicy, a bit sexy about you. You know, you've got to do unusual things. You know, you've got to kind of pull it out the bag. You've got to have the vision. You've got to be able to pick out a beautiful pass. You've got to have, when you get on the ball, it's got to seem like you've got all the time in the world. You know what I mean? That's how comfortable you are on the ball. That's how good you are at moving into the space that isn't occupied by anyone, so that when you receive that ball, you've got time to pick out that pass. And yeah, you've got to have a little bit of skill and just something extra. And yeah, I think when you look at Pablo, he's perfect for that role.
Yeah.
And when you look at Rodrigo, you think, wow, there's a player there that can be incredible in the number 10 position. And
Yeah,
I just think Tyler, he's more of a number 9 to me.
Yeah. Every time he plays number 9, he scores goals. You cast your mind back to that Hull City away game last season where we won 4-0, came off the bench, scored 2 goals at number 9, but at number 10, he just doesn't seem to work for him. No. He does try the odd back heel every now and again, risky back heel that never seems to work out. But yeah, obviously came off at half time for Rodrigo today, and Rodrigo I thought looked miles better today.
Yeah, he definitely grew into the game as it went. You could see him his vision seemed to improve, and he was seeing passes before they came up. So, yeah, we definitely got a player there. But he's been subbed as well, so it just shows you can spend the amount of money that we have on Rodrigo, but you can still be subbed twice, put on and then brought off. So,
what do you think that was about, him being subbed off again? What do you think happened there? It wasn't an injury, was it?
No, I think it's tactical, but I'm really not sure what that tactic would be. Maybe that we're going more defensive, but he brought on, was it Alioski for that one?
Yeah, Alioski, yeah.
And that's not...
Bielsa said he needed more mobility. Instead of Rodrigo, because Bamford was more tired.
Right. But it was knackered at the end, was Bamford.
Yeah, saw his interview.
And then he coughed in the interview. I'm like, no, don't be coughing. No, we need you. Don't we need you out for 14 days?
It's 2020. You can't be coughing now, mate.
Yeah, that's it now.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. He'd go private anyway, so because he's a Tory.
Yeah, it's true.
Liam Cooper as well, 200th appearance today.
Yeah,
he's come a long way.
Most aerial duels won in the match. Most block shots 3, including one last gasp block shot. I thought he did really well. I mean, on Melier's form, he would have saved it anyway, but yeah, slid in there and. Yeah, that was, I kind of almost celebrated that as well. Yeah. I was in a very jubilant mood today. You should have caught me at midday when I was watching this fucking game. I was like, wired.
Speaking of sliding in there, I thought Cock had a really good game. I think that's his best game for us so far.
As long as it's consensual, Alex.
Always.
I did say Cock would come good.
He's burst onto the scene. Yeah, I think he was.
I think we need to ban cock jokes. They're not fucking. They're not funny anymore.
Well, this is how you tell me. This is how you tell me that I'm not on the podcast anymore.
They are.
But yeah, I think he looked assured. I think he was a lot more comfortable as being in the centre of a back 3 than he had been on the side of a centre back pairing. But he's like winning the ball in the air. It's fantastic. Yeah. Like from the corners and stuff, he definitely looked like he was a lot more settled. And yeah, if that's what we need, 3 games for him to get up to speed, I think we've done well.
Yeah. Do you think that's because, the competition now from Diego Llorente? Do you think that's why he's performed well? He's looked at Llorente come in and thought, oh shit, I need to play well now.
Yeah.
Do you think it's due to the competition now?
But do you reckon Bamford's also... Oh, right, okay. Do you reckon Bamford's also coming on because of the pressure from Rodrigo?
100%, yeah. I mean, we brought in Nketiah. Bamford started scoring loads. We brought in Augustin. Bamford started scoring loads. And now we've brought in Rodrigo and he started scoring loads again. So, yeah, I do think it's the effect of, bringing in competition. I think competition's good.
So Koch looked more settled for 2 reasons, I think. One, because he hadn't just stepped off a plane and shook hands with Cooper and then faced Mo Salah.
Yeah.
You know. And two, because Sheffield United do not pose the same threat as Fulham or Liverpool. So Sheffield United, you know, have they even scored this season?
No,
I'm not sure.
they're
I
the
don't
Premier
think they
League
have.
team
Yeah.
who haven't scored. Yeah.
Yeah. So they didn't look particularly threatening. They had a few chances. They had maybe 3 or 4 chances. Yeah, they had 4 shots on target. So, and the one from a corner where they almost scuffed it in. But in terms of what Koch had to deal with, I think he had a much easier day at work. And yeah, he just generally looks more comfortable with the system, like playing with Cooper alongside him. And what I'd say about Bamford is, you know, when you get a ball that's as perfect as the one that Click played him against Fulham, for example, or Harrison played him today, or the one that Van Dijk played him on the opening game.
Could assist that, to be fair.
You have to, or you should, finish your dinner with those ones.
Yeah.
And they were easy. They were easy chances. They were made easy because they were put on a plate each time. So I would say that he has been criticised for missing chances last season, but I think in general there were a lot of those were sort of 3/4 chances or half chances. These were full on. You have to score them,
Yeah,
and he did.
Yeah, I think he had a good chance in the first half as well, didn't he? Which he just headed over. But he got in. The thing is, he got in the right position. He's executed it right. The ball's gone in the right position. It's just a little bit off target. So, and then he properly bangs it in from his nose in the 80th minute. So I'm happy with that.
And the other thing I'd say is that I don't think it's about pressure from new signings coming in. I think that actually releases the pressure, especially on Bamford, because he doesn't carry the whole weight of the world to score goals on his shoulders anymore.
That's a good point, that.
But either way, it's still not a good economical system that to get our 7.5 million striker to score, we've got to buy a 35 million reserve striker. Even if it's pressure or not, that's not the way to be going. We will be doing a Ridsdale.
We didn't buy him for that. We bought him so that we can sub him on and then sub him off again. Yeah. Shortly later.
I do love that though. There's nobody who's precious enough to, you know, there's no airs and graces. You can be subbed on and subbed off like Calvin was when he wasn't support. You know, he wasn't performing right. He could be Rodrigo. He still gets subbed off. I love that. Love it.
Yeah, 100%. We've also spent £30 million on centre backs this summer as well, which is just insane.
Yeah, but that's 2 centre backs for the price of 1 Ben White.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I think we've done all right there. And Ben White, apparently, I've not seen the game, but from all reports, he's been destroyed in the first 2 games. Graham Potter has just destroyed him as a player. He's undone everything that Bielsa did. So
I think he's doing okay. Like I watched him a little bit. I watched those games and then I watched the highlights again just to make sure. He's been doing okay. He's trying to get used to a new system where he's having to get a lot more forward. You know, so you saw him like in the penalty area in the last game against Scum, and I think people were saying, the commentators said on Match of the Day, Rashford's sat him down or whatever, sat Ben White down a couple of times there. But what he's supposed to do, he was diving to block a possible shot.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't do that, then people are going, oh, why didn't he dive in and block the shot?
Yeah, I wouldn't trust much what pundits have to say, because especially Sky as well. They're the most biased side of things I've ever heard.
Well, I'd say that they never played the game, but the thing is that some of them actually have.
Right. Yeah.
apparently doesn't help them.
Yeah. I mean, at least the pundits are better than Keith Andrews and Don Goodman now.
I don't know. Cara for the Liverpool game was definitely the Scouse Don Goodman, but I think that was because of his own biases. But yeah, they are a little bit better. I'm not sure about BT Sport though.
Carragher was better than Savage.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, today
better.
we had Savage and Michael Brown, didn't we, on BT Sport?
And Steve McManaman as co-com as well. So we can't get away from Scousers.
The dream team.
We didn't have the chase style panel as well this week, so I was a bit gutted about that because I quite enjoyed that last time because it was just so naff. But yeah, I don't know. The quality just seems a bit rubbish.
So we're beating Sheffield United now. We've beaten Fulham.
Yep.
We basically beat Liverpool if you don't count sort of
the 4 goals.
the fucking
You don't count the 4 goals.
handball rule, and then that ridiculous tackle challenge from Rodrigo. Basically, just all the set pieces. Yeah. So just take away the set pieces. Now we've beaten the champions. We've beaten Fulham. We've beaten Sheffield United. So, I mean, I know it's early days, but Champions League, or are we just going straight for the title? Do you think?
I mean, we are sixth. We're in a good position. I mean, 6 points on board. That was a big 3 points. I know it's only 3 games in, but these are the games that you have to pick up points. And you look at it realistically. We are a newly promoted team. Our goal is to stay up in the division, and you need to pick up points where you can, because the games against Liverpool, against Manchester City, Arsenal, even Spurs, Chelsea, Man United, and Leicester and Wolves, they're all hard games where you're expecting not really to pick up any wins. So the games against Sheffield United and Fulham, you need to pick up points, and we've done that. So going into the game against Sheffield United, I would have said that it was a must win. And yeah, we got the 3 points, and it's a big 3 points, big 3 points.
Man, I was fishing for some clickbait, Ed. You can't just go off and be sensible now.
Yeah, we're going to win the league, mate. We're going to win the league.
There you go. We're winning the league. Crazy Leeds podcast suggests that they're winning the league after 3 games.
Champions of games, if you don't count their goals. You'll never see that.
I mean, Manchester City next week at home. What do we think of that game?
Oh, well, when we were back in the Premier League, they were shit. So they'll just revert to being shit. So it's fine. No, I think we will. I think this looks a lot like the Liverpool game, probably. I think they're a little bit more dangerous as well.
Yeah, I'd say they're better than Liverpool.
And I think, obviously, managers, 2 managers that have a very similar ethos. One is the student, one is the teacher. Yeah, it's going to be spicy. There's going to be a lot of B-roll of a dewy-eyed looking Bielsa and stuff like that. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I don't think we've got much of a chance, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing Bielsa versus Pep Guardiola. As you say, the father versus the student. Can't wait to see them just hugging each other on the touchline. Great respect for one another, and it's going to be a cracking game of football. 2 good teams. We're going to play the same as we always do. I think there'll be a lot of goals as well. I think that there will be a lot of goals. Yeah,
they hug each other on the touchline. It's not COVID secure, so we'll be fined and deducted 15 points. And it'd be great that. No, it will be good to see that, because I think this isn't the first time they've met, though, is it? I'm sure.
No. Yeah, they met each other in La Liga.
Yeah.
Bilbao, Barcelona, and that'll be all the dewy-eyed highlights that you were talking about. But yeah. I disagree a little bit with you, Ed. I think that some of these games against the big 6 or the big 8 or 9 or whatever, if you're including Everton, Leicester, Wolves, I think they're going to be easier games for us, because we have quite a difficult time in breaking teams down at times, especially when Pablo's out. That was one of our big problems. And you saw against Liverpool and Fulham that when teams come out and attack us, they leave all this space in behind, and for Costa and Harrison to exploit. And that's why Costa and Harrison had such good games in those first 2 games. And Harrison played well today, but Costa looked a lot he just got pushed out of the game because obviously Sheffield United sat back. They didn't high press. They formed as a block, and teams like Sheffield United and Burnley and probably Villa and all those teams, they're the ones I think we're going to struggle against a lot more.
Yeah, I think you got a good point because it goes back to that whole thing of it being a championship sort of feel. I think that's what it is. It's kind of the reason that Costa didn't excel as much as they did in previous seasons is because there are a lot of teams played like Sheffield United played today. And when we've played Liverpool and Fulham and they've been a little bit more expansive, that's when it's given him the space, and that's when he's shone. And that's why he looks like a world beater now, suddenly, when he didn't last season. But then today he's slipped back to what he was, but it was how the opposition set up rather than how we set up. So
yeah, we did struggle to break Sheffield United down today. And I do think we did miss Pablo Hernandez as well.
Yeah.
I think Rodrigo, when he came on, we were creating a lot more. And, Sheffield United's chances, dried up a little bit in the second half. So, we did struggle today without Pablo. We need a number 10, don't we, really?
Yeah. Samu Sai's come back, all is forgiven.
I mean, he scored against Barcelona the other week, didn't Samu Sai? So, he's doing well.
I was gutted that he didn't work out because he was a really exciting player, just an absolute knobhead, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Spitting, that's a bit weird. It's a bit of a weird thing to do.
I was at that game. I was never been so embarrassed in all my life. Because I didn't even know what happened because he just seemed to go off. And then it's like, what's happened? Oh, somebody from the stand, he spat him. Like, oh, for God's sake.
Yeah. Talented player, just awful attitude.
Oh. Rodrigo de Cantwell, is he going to be the number 10?
He didn't travel today, did he? So.
To take us to the Europa League?
He's not number 10, though, is he, Cantwell? We're being linked with all these wingers like Dan James and Ryan Kent and Cantwell. I think we're fine on wingers. I mean, Ian Poveda, I thought, looked really good against Sheffield United. For a 20-year-old, he looks full of confidence. I want to be linked with the likes of Brendia and, Ross Barkley. I didn't mind that link. I think he'd be a decent addition. I want proper number 10s, not wingers who could maybe transition into number 10s.
See, neither Cantwell or Buendia travelled today. So, but I don't think we're in for Buendia, are we? Is he going somewhere else?
No, well, we were linked with Buendia a few weeks ago. But I don't think he will come to Leeds. But I want DePaul.
Yeah.
They said that Cantwell missed out because of an injury, not because of a transfer bid.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh, well. DePaul's back on then. Let's do that.
I do want DePaul. Imagine that. Paul and Ian linking up well. Yeah, that'd be good. But Jack Harrison, he's going to miss next week, is Jack Harrison, isn't he?
Yeah, he can't play.
So the thing is with the wingers is that we just need some strong backup. That's all. We just need a bit of depth in quality. That's why they're looking at wingers. That's why they brought in Llorente as well, because Phil Hay was talking about it. They watched this game against Hull in the cup, and they thought, oh, well, at least Phil thought that as well. And I had the same thought. Not that I'm comparing myself to Phil. It's just that team that played against Hull, they struggled to beat a kind of very, or even compete against a very poor League One side.
Yeah, and these are our backup players.
Can we rely on those players to come in and do a job in the Premier League? Maybe not. And I think that was the idea behind switching from Guardiola. Okay, we didn't get him anyway. But instead of going for an 18-year-old prospect to get a sort of 27-year-old international who can step right in there. And, if KP gets injured, he's going to be able to do a job at DM. If Koch gets injured, he can slot in there.
You told me off, I can't.
Oh, dear. Slide in there.
If Koch get injured, yeah. Doubtful.
They're just a bit cringy. I'm not banning them per se. They're just a bit cringy, that's all. Don't you find them cringy? I find them absolutely
cringy,
hilarious.
But they're funny.
They're cringy,
I really wrapped my hands. I really grabbed the ball and ran with it. As soon as we got Koch.
Oh,
it's like a firm grip of it.
Yeah, after a few months.
There's no sign of me stopping. Because the thing is,
Cock
what's
looked
funny
hard
is
today.
it did, yeah. He was in and out and up and down the pitch. The thing is, that what I find funny about that is that people cringe, and the more people cringe, the more times I'll do it.
Yeah.
And I'm really sorry about that, but that's who I am. And that is a flaw
And
in my personality.
I wonder if Cock's a good finisher as well.
He finishes early. Adonis is just letting us get this out of the system. He's just letting us run. He's put us on mute. It's like, right, you done it.
It's a good job I'm editing this one. Oh no, are you going to do it or shall I? Yeah, I better do it. Edit out all these fucking cock jokes. The last podcast was about 5 minutes long. What happened?
The following podcast contains no cock jokes.
Fucking cringe.
Yeah,
Go listen
good
to any one of the other fucking 500 Leeds United podcasts if you want your cock jokes. This is the Roaring Peacock, bitch. What we should talk about is your pre-match prediction, which was 2-1 Leeds.
Yep.
So you get
1-0.
You get 1 point for that, Alex. So far you're on 2 points. You've made your first prediction was 2-0 Leeds with a 4-3 when we played Fulham. We didn't do a match preview for Liverpool, but the thing is, you're actually now losing.
Oh, crying out loud!
Because you get 3 points. You get 1 point for guessing the correct winner,
right,
or the correct result, let's say. But the exact scoreline, you're getting 3 points for that. And Big Barry.
Yeah, but no, come on. He guessed it was going to either be 2-1, 1-0, or 1-0. And you can't let him have that. His first answer, surely.
Now, he said 1-0 Leeds. And you said, okay, good, we'll cut it off there. That was you.
Fair enough.
You fucking talking.
I'll take it. If it means me getting relegated from this league that doesn't exist, I'll take us winning all day long.
So you're losing 4-2 at the moment, even though you've guessed the correct winner twice.
Damn it. God damn it. My
So
fantasy league's doing better anyway. So Into Your Mum are on 34 points this week, which isn't too bad, but Vardy's been injured, so gutted.
Into Your Mum. Oh, that's your fantasy team.
Yep.
Yeah, I thought that was an off-air conversation.
No, we'll keep that one off air.
I mean, I can make the call for you if you want, you know.
It'd be appreciated, you know. Good wingman. So how is your fantasy team doing? 34 points. We're doing crap. I've lost the last 2 head-to-heads. But yeah, not too bad.
I keep captaining the wrong player.
Yeah, I'm just keeping Salah as my captain. But they've got Arsenal, so yeah, I don't know. But Vardy's my vice captain. He's got 14 points, so that's good. Yeah, we'll keep that.
So my girlfriend is Austrian, and she obviously didn't know too much about English football, and we share a very similar sort of childish humour. And when she heard about Arsenal, she started calling them arse anal. And she found that very amusing.
Well, you tell her that Arsene Wenger was her old manager, you know.
Yeah. Well,
cool ass.
Yeah. We were watching. I think Wenger was there. I don't know how it started, but I started calling him Wenger.
We're all right for Wengers. We've already had this conversation. We need a number 10.
Like his rap nickname or something, MC Wenger.
Yeah, they've been no since he left, have they? They're going to be a fun team to play.
That's another good reason to get a succession plan to Bielsa in early, because you saw what happened with Wenger and you saw what happened with
Red Nose.
Yeah. So
Well, the thing is, our succession plan is currently with Huddersfield Town, isn't he? So he earns his medals there and gets them relegated. Hopefully, we take him back on. Carlos Corberán manages to the Champions League final. Sorted.
they're not winning any. He's not winning any medals there, has he? He's lost three.
Personal
lost
medals
the
from
first
us.
3 games.
He'll get a medal from us
yeah.
if he gets him relegated. I'll give him that medal personally.
No, they did beat Nottingham Forest the other night, and that was such a weird feeling because I hated seeing Huddersfield do well, but I loved seeing Carlos Corberán do well.
Yeah, it's mixed emotions, isn't it? Mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Good guy.
It's funny seeing Nottingham Forest do bad though.
Yeah, that's good. Are they still hunting us? Or because that was the thing after they beat us. There's like, oh yeah, we're in the hunt, and then never caught us. So,
I mean, since they're beating us, they've only won 3 games, haven't they?
Yeah.
Have they won some games?
Well, since they beat us,
believe it or not, yeah,
they've won 3. I think that's it.
All right. They actually won a few after us.
That was a great last.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. That was actually a really pivotal game for us. I think that sent us up in a way.
The season around.
That. Yeah, it did.
Losing that.
I think previous seasons we could have happily just melted from that and done a Wigan after the Wigan game. That definitely could have happened, but no, I turned it around. Seeing Bill's face on that interview was just distressing. Yeah,
it felt like the QPR loss for season before when you saw Bielsa dejected after that 1-0 loss away at QPR, and then we went out and thrashed West Brom 4-0. You know, that seemed to be the turning point. A loss was the turning point of the season.
Yeah. No.
But again, that shows you the pattern of us finding it very difficult to break down teams who just defend. And then, so QPR we missed a hatful of chances, but we found creating them quite difficult. And then West Brom, obviously, they're coming at us all the time, thinking they're, giving it large, thinking they're going to beat us, and leaving all this space in behind, and boom. So I'm wondering how it's going to be against City, because they keep the ball, don't they? And similar to us in a way. And I think last year we'd have given them a run for their money. In fact, they lost against Wigan as well. I mean, you can imagine what Frank Lampard would have been saying if he was managing City. We lose against Wigan too.
Yeah. He was out last night as well.
Yeah. But they've got Ake and Gathia now, so I think they look much better at the back to see. But yeah, Frank Lampard, fucking wanker. Am I right?
I'm all right, lads. I'm all right. But the City game, I think, is a free hit for us. I think nobody's going to expect us to win, but I think that puts us in good stead because we'll play without pressure. I think we felt a lot of pressure today because that's a game that we should be winning. But I don't think anybody's going to be similar to Liverpool. Like I said, I think we'll go out there, we'll play, do his stuff. We'll come out 1-0 losers. I think we'll still be happy.
Yeah, I think that's why today's win was so important because it's just lifted a load of weight off our shoulders. If we had lost today and then lose against City, and we're down around the relegation zone, you Leeds fans, knowing Leeds fans, we'll all be panicking. But big win today, and free hit against Man City. It's unfortunate because it would have been nice to build on 2 wins in a row and make it 3 wins in a row. But I mean, we could still win next week. But it is Man City, so it's going to be very difficult.
Yeah.
But
was that an early prediction, Alex? Did you say that we're going to lose 1-0?
No, that's not. I'm not. No, don't take that. It's not official. You can only ask me on the preview until I've got more data. No. No, I think it's going to be good to watch.
I think it'll be high scoring, won't it?
Yeah,
it's probably going to be in it. I hope it's just not an embarrassment. I really don't.
Give us an early prediction.
Heart and head.
This won't count.
All right. Okay. I think it's going to be.
You've still got a whole week to procrastinate and ignore all the data and not actually look it up, and then be madly put on the spot at the last minute.
Why are you revealing my whole technique? That's secret. Right. I think it's going to be like 3 or 4-0 to City, and I hate that. I think it's going to be that, but we shouldn't be the thing is, we don't need to win every game. We've gone from last season where we needed to pretty much win every game to get in the top 2 because we didn't want to be in the top 6 because we didn't want to do the playoffs because we wouldn't have won them. But we don't need to win every game. We can lose to City Globetrotters, and it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, I think that's why we're playing so well in the first few games. Why we played so well against Liverpool, because there's no pressure on us now. We don't need to win every single game.
That's it. I think it is. That's why Bamford's thriving, I think, because strikers are confidence players, aren't they? And I think because he's not got that pressure anymore, he's using his right foot, and he's used his right foot twice. And he's not. I don't think he did that once. He probably did.
And he's used his head as well.
Yeah, well, he knows. But yeah, it's good. I like it. I like this Premier League stuff.
Yeah, so do I. It's quite nice.
Might stick around. Might stay for a few seasons. See what it's like.
Yeah, and if we don't like it, we can always just go back down again.
Oh yeah, we're good at that. Oh, it's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I'm just saying we'll give it a few years. If we don't like it, if it's not our cup of tea, then we can just go back down. It's fine. That's why it's so nice being in the Premier League, because in the Championship you want to go up, but if you don't like being up, you can just go back down again.
No, I don't think we'll enjoy going back down. We can say that once we're down. Oh yeah, this is all we wanted all along. Yeah, we didn't like that prawn sandwich brigade stuff. Couldn't stand it. No, mate. No, we want to be going away to Preston. We love Deepdale on a Tuesday night.
Yeah. It's actually quite nice, Preston away on a Tuesday night. Nice stadium, nice area. Easy to get to.
Yeah, you can't ever get in Nando's, though. So that's why I don't like it.
No, but McDonald's is there as well, like 10 minutes away.
Other fast food places exist.
Yeah. And other places that sell actual food exist as well.
I can't have Nando's. Nando's is good. I haven't had a Nando's in ages because of lockdown. So
I don't like Nando's. It's just chicken. It's literally just overpriced chicken.
We can't have
overpriced burnt chicken.
No. Ed can't come back on again. So.
No.
I don't like Nando's.
That peri peri sauce is pretty good.
Spot
to be fair.
Spot.
Yeah.
I've made it myself at home there, and there is not much to it. It is a little bit overpriced what it is. That Peronaise that they charge £2 for, you can make that for about 30p. But yeah, it's good.
Shall I give a Man City prediction now? That'll put you on the spot earlier.
No, because you don't like Nando's. Next, right? What's up? Yeah, you can do.
Nah, 5-1 City.
Oh fuck! I hope not.
We will lose. I do think. I don't like being negative, but it's Man City, innit?
Have we got a preview with a Man City podcast?
Yes, we are previewing the Manchester City game with the fella from the Blue Moon podcast.
That's inventive. It's going to be shit, isn't it? I'm going to have to... we can't be as friendly as we were with the Sheffield United guy. As funny as that was, we need to be a bit more adversarial, I think.
I don't mind City. I don't mind them. I quite like Oasis. I never thought about Man City as being any sort of rival, or they were just some shit team. And just another one of those shit teams like Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday back in the day, in the mid-90s. And yeah, they never had anything going for them really.
Just had loads of money dumped on them and then become like unbeatables.
Loads of blood money. Yeah. But they hate scum, we hate scum. You know what I mean? Like always.
Yeah, it's relatable. Yeah. I mean, I remember the last time we played City in the FA Cup. What was it? 2013 or something, where Michael Brown was playing. But yeah, the away fans, Leeds fans, shoes off if you hate Man United, and Man City fans just enjoyed it. It was just 90 minutes of both sets of supporters just chanting about how much they hate Man United. It was brilliant.
Yeah,
we always seem to beat them as well. I remember that 5-2 FA Cup game. Yeah, I don't know. I never really cared about them.
Yeah. Make sure you ask this Manchester City fan when he starts supporting them.
Yeah, it'd be interesting that.
2012.
I can't really be. I can't. It's like being adversarial is not something that I can just like generate out of nothing. You know what I mean? Like when we get scum on, then we can, fucking rip into them, make them cry.
Just you've got a green screen there, Adonis. Just stick on behind it the photo of Beckford.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
Just stick on that on the green screen.
Stretford end for Leeds United. Doesn't get better for a Leeds United centre forward.
Gary Neville, hands on his hips, practically crying.
Oh, dear.
I'm not sure.
No, but yeah, I mean, it's Scum and Chelsea in it, and I don't really care about anybody else, to be honest.
No.
Quite like Liverpool, quite like City. They both hate Scum.
Yep.
We've always had like good rivalry between Liverpool, but like more like friendly, kind of respectful.
Yeah. Aston Villa, I don't really like them.
No, I don't like them. That's true. I don't like
Jack
them.
Grealish.
They made my mum cry at Wembley in '96. Never forgive them for that.
Yeah, fuck Aston Villa.
Yeah.
We've got to avenge your mum now. That's it's like Kill Bill, but Premier League football.
Woo! Woo! do.
Just chopping Jack Grealish's hair off with a samurai sword.
Yeah, Grealish, God, he's a fucking deadbeat player. How he ever got into the England squad, I never know. All he does is fucking dive around and shit and wave his hair.
I mean, he only got into England squad because Ben Foden and Mason Greenwood were doing naughty things in Iceland.
Ben Foden?
Ben Foden is his brother.
Who's that?
Phil Foden.
Phil Foden. Phil Foden. Sorry.
You know, when the thing is with Grealish and his contract, so Calvin signed his contract. He saw it on the documentary. His nan, his mum and his girlfriend were there and they were all love and support. Grealish had his contract signed with his dog. So he actually pays that companion to be with him. Nobody likes it.
Probably pays a lot of people to be with him, to be fair.
I do remember that video, which is testament to his efforts to go viral. But yeah, the dog was quite nice. I didn't like the cunt with the dog, but the dog was all right.
Oh, I don't blame the dog in the slightst, but you know, it just shows that his level of social aptitude is Ross McCormack and a dog. So
I'd say it was animal abuse, but the dog didn't seem to mind, to be fair.
Yeah, it just signs contracts all day. That's its day job. Oh, fucking hell, not another one.
Manchester City got beat today.
Did they?
5-2. They got beat 5-2 at home to Leicester.
Really?
Oh, that's why Vardy's got so many points. And I'm
They
so
were 4-1 down. That's mad.
I was watching that before we came on here, and it was
Won all at half time.
really, really boring.
Yeah, 5-2 Leicester.
Wow. Is
That's
it over?
insane. Yeah, it's over. 5-2 Leicester full time. They were 4-1 up after 77 minutes.
wow.
2 penalties.
Should have kept in Vardy. 2 penalties.
Oh, 3 penalties. 3 penalties. Vardy had 2 penalties and Tielemans had 1. Vardy scored a hat-trick.
Were they all handballs?
Yeah, all spurious handballs.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch it. I was out. But yeah, 5-2. That's promising. I mean, 3 penalties though, but you know, it is promising that Manchester City can concede goals.
Yeah.
They do mistakes.
Yeah, I'll change my prediction now. We're going to beat them 5-2. Because Leicester are shit, aren't they? They've only got Roll Fox.
No, we'll beat them 4-3.
So Dallas, I thought, had a really good game.
Yeah.
Just to bring it back.
He's so rapid, isn't it? He's like the pace he's got to go past players is unreal.
Yeah. There was at one point during the game where the ball managed to get through to him and he rounded the keeper and he had an open goal to aim at and should have scored, really. He's just, his shot was a bit too weak, really, and Basham was able to get back to it. But, you know, Dallas, was really good. He was poor against Liverpool, you know, because Salah scored a hat-trick. I didn't think it was too great against Fulham. But, you know, today I thought Dallas was brilliant. And, you know, I still do think that we do need a proper left-sided left-back because Barry Douglas probably isn't, you know, up there with, you know, up there in terms of choices. I put Leif Davis ahead of Barry Douglas, really.
Wow. That's not good for Barry Douglas, that is it, really, if you've got Leif Davis ahead of you.
Yeah. I mean, I don't think Barry Douglas is the same Douglas that we saw at Wolves a few years ago, really. I do think we need a proper left-sided left-back. But, no, Dallas, I thought was really good today.
What I liked about Dallas was out of possession, he was almost slotting into a DM role alongside KP at times. And then in possession, he was popping up all over the place on the right wing, right forward position. centre right. I mean, just anywhere basically on the right hand side.
He'll play anywhere. He'll play anywhere.
It's almost like he's a right winger.
Yeah. I mean,
but yeah, when he went around the keeper, all he had to do was compose himself a little bit, and he could have slid Bamford in.
But the best thing about Dallas is he backs himself against any player in this league.
Yeah.
Even against Liverpool, he was backing himself to beat a player with his pace. So, and that's the kind of confidence you want. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
I think he's a fantastic player. He was last season's player of the year for me.
He was trying to make something happen today. He was the one looking most likely, wasn't he? And he had that shot. It was almost a toe poke scoop into the top corner. That was
it
a good.
Seemed to hang in the air for ages, didn't it? It just seems to be like, and then you realise it reaches.
I was halfway. I was halfway up. I was here. I wasn't fully up. I was here. Oh,
yeah, it's good that. It's good though that we've come up and we're creating chances. I think that's one of the most satisfying things, that we are creating chances and we're putting them away. Because it would have been awful for us to lose us first three and be like, oh, what do we do now? How do we get out of this? And it's Bamford's fault. Bamford getting all the pelters on social media from the people who don't watch football. And yeah, it's so much better to do it this way. You know, winning games and that's great.
Yeah, nice scoring goals, isn't it? Scoring goals. Quite a nice feeling.
The top 6 Leeds United. It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the Championship is a lot tougher than what a lot of people think, especially Premier League fans.
Yeah.
And yeah, we do create chances, and when we're given space, we create a lot more chances, and we'll get a lot more space in the Premier League. So I always thought that we were going to do it, and I always thought we'd start well because Bielsa's training is just so much harder and tougher by the sounds of it than what any of the other clubs do.
Yeah. There's something in the pre-match. Cooper was talking about the difference between like previous managers and Marcelo. I think he lost 10 kilograms in his first bit, and that's a crazy amount of weight, especially for somebody who's actually fit to lose that amount of weight. It's unbelievable. But he said that he's changed him, not only changed him as a player, but changed him as a person. And that you can't really ask for more than that. What an influence this guy's been. So.
I mean, Bielsa has changed players' lives, hasn't he? Bielsa's changed players' lives, and you know, it's mental how like they look painfully thin, like they look unhealthy. So, most of the time, they look so thin. But like, I was looking at pictures from the players, a few years ago, and back then, even though they are professional footballers, they're fit as a fiddle. They look fat compared to now. It's mental.
Yeah,
like they've got no fat on them at all.
Well, it's not just the players, is it? I mean, it's not just. I feel change from Bielsa, and probably we all do. But I mean, it's the whole city, isn't it? I mean, the whole city has been changed by all accounts. Everybody I've spoken to has talked about the regeneration of the city, and not just the small things like you see people walking around with Leeds shirts on, but it's also the business, the finance sector, the tourism sector. All of these things are impacted by the club.
Yeah. And which manager in our history, apart from probably Don Revie, would have had a mural on the side of a shop like that?
Exactly. Yeah, he's got a few murals as Bielsa. He's got one in is it Wortley, Abiasda? One another big one, grey and black one on the side of a house. It's insane. Marcel Bielsa has changed a lot of people's lives, and and mental health as well. People's mental health has got better because they've been seeing the team do well. If we were still doing shit, then a lot of people will be a bit miserable, But it's insane what Bielsa's done. Insane.
But he will leave.
Yeah.
Leave eventually.
Yeah, so I think Wilco could have had a mural done of him. And I think if O'Leary had taken us to the final, maybe, or even if we'd won it, but certainly if we got to the final, I think that was a time when we were playing so well. I mean, we came third in 99-2000 when we really should have won it after being top at Christmas, and got to the semi-finals of the UEFA Cup, as it was called then, and then next season the semi-finals of the Champions League. And I think that those two seasons any kind of prolonging of that success, I think you'd have started to get into the realms of a mural. But I think with Bielsa, it's just there's two things. It's a redemption story for the club, and it's a redemption story for him. And he's also just such a unique and inspiring character and person with such high levels of integrity and morals and ethics.
Yeah. He also needs a Bible. He's got a Bible about him, so
He is God, after all.
Yeah, but he doesn't like that.
No.
I think, yeah, I mean, like, it's totally fine to kind of worship him or have the idea of him. Like, I mean, nobody can tell you who you can and can't worship, even the person who you're worshiping. But at the same time, he doesn't like it.
No. Have we all seen season 2 of the Amazon documentary?
Yeah.
There's that part in it where the centenary game, Calvin Phillips, the only goal scorer, the Leeds fan, the Leeds lads scoring in the centenary game, and Bielsa said it was an act of God.
It was an act of Jesus, your God.
I thought that was brilliant.
I mean, there are times in your life when things like that happen, and the clouds part and a beam of light shines down, and really, and something magical happens. And that was one of those times. And it doesn't matter what you want to call it. If you want to call it like a miracle or, an act of God, or if that's a figurative term or a metaphor, or if you want to call it, the universe working in mysterious ways or whatever. But things like that do happen.
Yeah, it happened to me once. The clouds opened, the light shone down, and God made me an atheist.
But yeah, it was an act of God when it was a fucking act of God. No, it was when Calvin got put through and he scored on the fucking centenary game. And the only time we're going to wear that shirt with a fucking weird string on it. God knows why they designed that. Fucking hell. I mean, this away kit, that's an act of God, because fucking hell, some of the designs over the last few years have been fucking left field, let me tell you.
Do you like the away kit then?
Yeah, I do. I really.
Are you fucking kidding me? It's the best kit in like fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
You know what I really don't like? It's the rule on the colours of the numbers and the name on the players' shirts. Because on the home shirt, all the trims are blue and the kit's white. It would be nice if the numbers were blue as well, but they have to be black. And then the away kit as well, all the trims are gold. It would be nice if the numbers were gold as well, but they have to be white. I don't really like that.
No.
It's beautiful that they're white. It's one of the things I love about it. Like we wear all white. That's like that's our thing. You know what I'm saying? And it just pops out. It pops out so well through those dark colours. It's like they took the 93 version and they just muted all the colours down. And now that the white letters just fucking pop. I'm in love with this shirt, Ed. I'm in love with everything about it. The name, the numbers, the fucking, maybe not the betting sponsor, but it's 2020. I've got to deal with that. Pretty much everything about it is perfect.
Yeah. It was nice to see the actual colour of the shirt today. Nice to see the actual colour.
You don't have one. You don't have one. What kind of fan are you? If you don't have an away shirt, what are you doing on this podcast?
Where the fuck were you when we were buying our shirts?
That's last season.
Jumper.
Last season.
Where the fuck were you when we were all at the Leeds United shop?
Johnny come later. He's just trying to cash in. It's disgusting.
Yeah. He doesn't even have a shirt. He's not even putting money into a club.
I think the worst thing about the shirt
Ed.
is the sponsor.
Sorry, we're not piling on you, Ed.
No, just parodying everybody else.
Yeah, we're parodying. We're being satirical.
Parody Bamford.
I'm just trying to use words I don't fully know the meaning of.
I think what annoys me about the shirt and both shirts is it's SBO top. So it's
the worst logo in history.
O for Oscar, T, O for Oscar, P, Why are both those different?
Don't know. And what's that logo about as well? Is it a guy running?
Don't know. Looks like the SS to me.
Yeah, it's the worst logo I've seen in my life.
You might say that the graphic designer was having a bit of a gamble. But yeah, I think like it's every person, like anyone with any sort of design slant or OCD is just fucking has a brain freeze when they see that logo. It's like the two different shaped O's. It's just so fucking weird.
There's just no need for it.
Weird.
That must be a stylistic choice somewhere. Somebody must have gone, it looks great, but could we make the second O slightly thinner and squat? Perfect.
Yeah, but I honestly don't care. I don't care, because as long as Bamford keeps rising like a fucking salmon between those sticks and smashing the ball in with his nose, I'll be happy.
This is the thing, though. If we do well this season, in a couple of years, the Terrace will be doing mugs. Well, they are already doing mugs with SBO top on, and we love them. So it doesn't really matter, does it? So it'll become iconic, like Thistle Hotels does. That meant nothing to any of us when we started being sponsored by them, because who stays at a Thistle Hotel? But now that's iconic. It's an iconic brand.
Yeah, I think like with Thistle Hotels and Packard Bell and all that, and Top Man and Yorkshire Evening Post, I think they're all kind of fairly like harmless sponsors.
Netflights.com as well.
Or even desirable, you know, especially with the YEP. Like that kind of actually has something to do with the club, with the city.
Yeah.
You know, that's not even a slightly tenuous link. And lion cabinets. But when you look at some of the betting companies, obviously it's just the people who pay the most amount of money. But the sad thing for me is that, you know, the house always wins, and and gambling ruins a lot of people's lives. So I know that there's a whole bunch of people who get entertainment from it, and I think if you can handle it, but it's like any vice, isn't it? But if you're a fucking bootlegger or whatever, and you're fucking, you know, drinking yourself into a stupefied oblivion in front of millions of social media watchers online, then I think maybe, you know, you need to think about reining it in a bit.
Yeah,
absolutely. Could be a good idea.
Could you imagine if there was like an online personality that just showcased how much money they were losing every week while being cheered on by a group of football fans? People would be calling in for it, but because it's alcohol, bootlegger gets away with it. Oh, the captain! Oh, I've had a gruel. Sod off. Go and get some fucking help.
Like I do find him funny. I think I've seen a few videos, and for me, he is quite funny. But it's often the ones where, you know, he's just got home and he's just having his first beer or whatever. So that was really all I kind of knew about him, and until you brought it up to me, actually. He's got some problems. He's a pisshead, and he needs to deal with it.
The one funny video I found of his was when he says to his mate, "What score is it going to be today?" And he goes off on a rant saying, "If we don't win today, I'm going to go home and I'm going to pull that fence out of the panel and I'm going to kick fuck out of the fence." I don't have a microwave because we got beat last week or something like that. That was great. I will admit that was great. But yeah, it's sad to see when somebody's going through some shit like that and it's being cheered on. Yeah. Let's end it on a really happy note. Alcoholism. Yay!
I mean, this is a match review podcast, isn't it? Talking about bootlegger.
Yeah, God knows where we get to in these things.
And if we just link it up, we're interviewing Bramall, who supports Wrexham. So
yeah, exactly. That's where it comes from. It did have a link, somewhat tenuous, to the Sheffield United Leeds United match review. I'll grant you, but we are interviewing Bramall on Tuesday, so that's where it comes
awesome,
down to. Yeah.
He must be buzzing now with Ryan Reynolds being interested in buying Wrexham. He'll be buzzing.
Yeah, so the cover is Deadpool in a Wrexham shirt, sort of hugging, kind of hugging Mac from Always Sunny, and with his head on the shoulder of Bryn, just like looking at him like, like a lover, mate.
It's really good.
So, Leeds United went down the road, went down to the soft Southerners, and came away with 3 massive and massively deserved points. Ilhan Meslier pulled it out of the bag. What a fucking goalkeeper. France's number 1. Get in there, my son. And Jackie Harrison, ball of the century, swinging in like a golf club to the rising salmon Bamford, who smashes
Steel salmon.
Who steel salmon for a steel city and slips it off his nose into the corner of the post. What a fucking beautiful day it was. Thank you very much, Leeds United. Oh, Sheffield United 0, Leeds United, the mighty fucking Whites, going up to the Champions League. Fuck off to all the doubters. 1. My name is Adonis from the Adelaide. It's a very good bye from me. It's a very good bye making his debut from Ed McIntyre from All Things Leeds.
Goodbye. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you for thanking us having you.
No worries. I'll thank you for having me on anytime.
Thanks for coming on, Ed. And it's a very good bye from Alex.
A very good bye from me.
And I'll leave you with this thought. If you don't subscribe and follow us on social media, we won't care. Oh God!
Oh, there's going to be some ominous threat there. If you don't follow us on social media, we just don't give a fuck.
We will find you
and tell you that it's fine that you don't follow
us. That was your match review. Thank you and goodbye.
Most of our stats come from LUFC Stats or LUFC Data on Twitter. You should probably give them a follow as they're more interesting than us. A very special thanks to Adam Elliot, Adam Warner, Barney, Stuart, Cookie, Ed McIntyre, Ewan and Howard, Metcalf, Josh Pearson, Laura, Leon, Nige and Rob, The Light Show, Jim Stringer and all our family and friends.